Bror Fredrik coming at you with another video. I am now leaving the Excalibur. I did a little video in there, which you'll see within the next couple of days. It was a fun video. Tried something new. Hope it was entertaining for you, but we'll soon find out. For those of you new to the channel, my name's Bror Fredrik, professional Las Vegas-based photographer, videographer, cinematographer, and part-time philosopher. So let me make my way out of the parking lot. We're gonna go drive down the strip a little bit. So I wanted to do a quick recap of the Mirage reopening. There's 2 more videos to come. Today I put up, depending on when you see this, but go check on YouTube. You'll see the video from the grand reopening. Hold on, I gotta merge into traffic here and not wrap myself around a pole. Here we go. Okay, so I did a video on the grand reopening of the Mirage, which was absolutely spectacular. I separated it into the full grand opening ceremony, and then I separated it. Then I also did the video of a full interior walkthrough. So go check those out. I'll put a card up in the right-hand corner. But I wanted to do a recap. Let's see, the volcano one is also coming out. I did the first volcano show, and I also got into the pool area and did a walkthrough on the pool. So check those out over the next couple of days. I'll make a playlist of everything Mirage related, including the lives that I was able to do there. So I wanted to do a recap because the videos definitely express the mood, but I wanted to express it to you personally. Now, I've been to just about every grand reopening. Some of them are just reopenings on the strip so far since the casinos have been allowed to start operating again. And I wouldn't say by far, but to a marked degree, the Mirage did a fantastic job. And I'll tell you why. They opened on August 27th at exactly 10 a.m. sharp. And they opened to much fanfare. It was very, very anticipated. And there's many reasons why. Excuse me. One, the Mirage is just an iconic property here. And to see them reopen again was almost like, I don't know, a sign of life to the strip, that everything's gonna be okay, that there's life coming back, that things are going to return to normal. I wouldn't say they are returning to normal, but they're definitely going to return to normal. So it was a very symbolic opening on many, many, many levels. I happen to like the Mirage. I always did. I've always done very well gaming there. I've always been treated well there, but of course it's an older property, and I gotta tell you, they cleaned it up spectacularly. I mean, they even cleaned the atrium, which is like, 1,000 feet in the air or whatever it is. Somebody got up there with some Windex and cleaned every single window inside and out, and you can see that picture that I took of it. It's just spectacular. They polished the brass statues. They polished the brass mermaid where everyone rubs their boobs for good luck. They polished the dolphins. I mean, the place looks like, I wouldn't say as it opened, but it was very, very clean. Very, very, it was just stunning to see. Let me put it that way. They cleaned out the lake, they drained it, they put water back in it. You'll see that in the volcano window. The waterfalls are operating great. But let's get back to the grand reopening ceremony. So I got in there. I was invited to go in first, and with the news crews and all that. I did not choose to do that. I mean, a lot of my colleagues and all the local stations were there in advance, and they sat around and interviewed and all that. I chose to take you on a point of view. So what I did was I came in from the outside just as a customer or a guest would, and I'm glad I did that, because it was like an emotional, nearly spiritual experience, because they lined people up, if you saw the video, on both sides, all the way down to the front, from the valet, from the North Valet, and they clapped and they cheered and they welcomed, and everyone was just in such a spectacular mood. And the thing that I specifically liked about it, like I said, I've been to a lot of them, the thing that set this one apart genuinely was the sincerity in how they've done it. I've seen quite a few, and clap, that's great, and those are all appreciated, don't get me wrong, but this one, you can absolutely tell the sincerity of the people who work there, and I'm talking from security to the head muckety-mucks. I mean, there was just an air of, it was electric. You could just feel that they were so happy to be there, and so happy to be working again, of course, and so happy to be doing what they do best. And it was palatable, and that made the experience extraordinary. If you could pick it up in the videos, there's two. There's one with the what I'm talking about, the reopening. I don't know what's going on here with the couples, but there's a bunch of them. For some reason, there's always cops around here. But anyway, and there's another video of just the clapping ceremony and the welcoming of the guests. And that is a spectacular 4-minute video. It's almost inspiring. So I was thrilled. I could see the Mirage, the volcanoes going off right now. It must be 11 o'clock. They're doing the volcano show at 8, 9, 10, and 11 right now. And they've lengthened it. It's almost 5 minutes long. And it's good. It's better than before the closures. Anyway, getting back to the experience, like I said, I felt honored to be there. I mean, and I was treated honored. I went back later on in the evening to catch the first volcano show and film it. I wanted to set it up just right so it didn't, like some of the videos you see, the flames are all blown out. No, I did a good one. So you'll see that soon. So I went back in there, and I went to thank them for having me. And instead, they turned around and thanked me for being there. And that was just an awesome experience. I do some work there on occasion for clients, but it's not like I'm a total regular. But they were like, "Bro, Fredrik, we appreciate you coming down. We appreciate what you did. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate what you're doing for us to help us get off the ground." And I was just blown away. I didn't, I went to thank them, and then they in turn thanked me. And that was just a total class act on their part. And it wasn't just one of them. It was like all of them, because I had the run of the place for a few hours, and I spent most of the day there. So they got to know me, I got to know them. They saw me on the way back, mask or not, and they took the time to thank me for being there and taking you guys on a tour. So that was a great experience. Now, the other things I noticed about the Mirage, now don't take this the wrong way. The staff there was a mature staff. And there's a reason why I say that. I have nothing against, anyone under 30 or 35 working on a property, of course. But here's what I've seen with other properties in town, and I'm not going to call them out by name, but this is something that I've seen. I was doing a video at one of the big major properties in town, and I asked a few people, is there any place that doesn't have the music blasting? Because I wanted to do, there's a video up there. I wanted to do it without the background music, and these places just blast copyrighted music, and that's not conducive to making YouTube videos. So I asked one person, and I was told, and it was a younger individual, I was told, I don't really know, this is my first week. I went to someone else in valet. I even tried to do it outside in 115 at night, and I was told, oh, sorry, I've only been here 3 days. And bear in mind, this place has been open for 2 months already, a little longer than that. And I went to the third person, and I'm starting to get a vibe here. So I went to a third person who was younger than myself, in their 20s, and they told me the same thing. They said, no, you know, I'm just figuring out the place myself. They didn't even know what the heck I was talking about. Meanwhile, this place, this property, has been laying off people lately. So what I came to realize is that they were laying off, or are laying off, existing staff, but they still need the help. So they're hiring a younger, untrained, and lower paid staff. So now you have a property that was paying someone who's been there for 15 years, you know, let's call it $20 an hour, you know, plus benefits and all that other good stuff. Now they slap an ad up on, monster.com, and they brought in a younger, untrained person who's, just going to cut their teeth in the casino game for what, $13 or $14 an hour. So I'm like, wait a second, it's just not cool that they did that. And like I said, I'm not going to call them out by name, but read the papers, you'll figure it out. So there's a property that's actually, what the heck is this? Yeah, thought it was an accident. All right, we're in good shape. We're passing the Venetian and the TI right now. Hope everyone's enjoying the lights. They look spectacular tonight. I'm kind of enjoying the traffic. It's giving us a chance to talk. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. So they replaced their mature staff that's been there forever with lower paid staff. Now, everyone needs a job. I'm not saying these people don't deserve that job. Just the way they did it was kind of on the crafty side, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway, back to the Mirage. I noticed people at the Mirage, these are people that have been there since the get-go. I saw a guy that I knew back in like the mid to early 90s still working there. And I got to give them a lot of respect for that. They didn't pull those shenanigans. They had everyone on furlough. When they opened, they brought them back. They didn't try to snake them out of their jobs and replace them with lower paid employees. So I thought that was very cool of them. Still smells like pina colada with an extra side of coconut in there. So they had the scent. I don't know how they do it. They must stick it in the ducts or I don't know what. But that is, that's a staple. You're at the Mirage when you smell coconut and, heavy coconut with pina colada on the side. And that's kind of cool. And it sticks around with you. I think I still smell it today, if I'm perfectly honest. You can smell the coconut. But, it's an awesome thing. It keeps you know where you are at all times. As far as the gaming machines, they definitely changed their machines in there. There's a lot more arcade machines. There are absolutely no poker machines in there whatsoever. And that seems to be a trend on the Strip, to remove the poker machines and the three-wheeled slots in favor of the arcade games. So that's just a thing here. It's not a knock on them. So it's a lot of arcade games, and the check-ins yesterday were cranking along good. They were checking in person after person after person, which is awesome. So if you want to stay at the Mirage, they're running prices as low as $49 a night right now. I don't know how far out it goes. I only went about a month, but $49 to stay at the Mirage. And the Mirage, I'm not getting any commission or anything on this. I'm just telling you the deal. It's $49. You could barely stay at the stupid, no-tell motel in the north of town for $49, let alone the Mirage. So that's a great deal. I mean, this freaking construction has been going on since like March, just jacking everything up. Jeez, go dude. So the Mirage, getting back to them for the 99th time, they did it right. They did it classy. They did it smart. They did it well. They did it with enthusiasm. They did it with sincerity. And you can just tell they wanted to be there. They wanted to open. They wanted the guests. They wanted people there. They want you there. They want me there as a local. So I'm hoping they do extremely well. Someone said, oh, well, give them 2 months and they'll close, some hater in the comments, whatever. Not gonna happen. I'm sorry. I just came from, like I said, the Excalibur, and there were thousands of people in the Excalibur. Now, when a place first opens, it doesn't pack right away because people and they haven't been able to make a reservation. If they made a reservation, they got bumped, that type of stuff. But give it a couple of weeks. I mean, it's not pre-pandemic type of busy, but if you looked at the Excalibur, which is also doing $49 rooms, it was slammed tonight. I mean, like an ass in every other seat, social distancing. And the bars, they had the music cranking, the table games were pretty full. And there's people checking in. People with suitcase after suitcase after suitcase going into Excalibur. And if you can tell now by the strip, Friday night at, 11:15, and it's only 97 degrees, which is kind of cool. There's people walking around. I mean, I don't know if you could see it with this camera angle, but there's tons of people around. And I'm stuck in traffic. And I'll tell you what, right now, I don't mind being stuck in traffic because signs of life are always good. I want this town to do well, not just for myself, but for everyone. Las Vegas is probably the most famous town in the world. Who doesn't know Las Vegas? Who doesn't want to come to Las Vegas at some point? It's on everyone's bucket list, unless you're like in the Amazon jungle somewhere. So Las Vegas will always be Las Vegas. It's resilient. I'm gonna hang a left right here. It's resilient. We snap back. We snap back after the great housing recession. We snap back after every recession. We snap back after the tragedy of October 1st. So this town isn't going anywhere. It changes, it morphs, it constantly reinvents itself, which is an amazing thing. Sometimes the bean counters get in the way of true growth. I would like to see the bean counters step aside and take some of the old school people and take them out of mothballs and put them out there on the floor and give them a position back and teach everyone how to do things old school, that they know you by name like they did yesterday, not just like a number on a player's card or something, that they welcome you back, that they remember what you drink, and all that type of stuff. This town definitely needs the old school vibe back again. And the old school isn't that long ago. The bean counters kind of depersonalized Vegas, and at this point, they need to step aside. Sorry, but they do. This town will be brought back to life fast with old school treatment. People still want to be treated well. They want to be welcome. They want to be more than a number. They want to have a place to go where everyone knows their name, like on Cheers. Who doesn't want that? Whether you're 20 or 120, we crave that as human beings. And if this town can maintain what I saw yesterday at the Mirage, we're going to do well when this goes. That's another question I get. Oh, what's your prognosis, long term? Do you think it'll be better in September? Do you think it'll be better, by November, by New Year's? I'm extremely optimistic about what's going to happen. Once we get through this election thing, regardless of who wins, regardless of the politics, there's going to be changing, because the current situation will no longer be able to be manipulated to anyone's advantage. I'm not getting political, but that's just a fact. So we'll have clear-cut ideas and plans after this election. So I'm extremely optimistic of what's going to take place here. I can tell by the crowds coming in here now that you know, people aren't in fear anymore. People aren't worried anymore. You know, I did that video, is Las Vegas safe? I'll tell you what, Las Vegas is safer than your average Walmart. You know, no ifs, ands, or buts. In Walmart, they don't have, you know, 100 people running around cleaning everything every 20 seconds. In these casinos, they do. So it's safe, it's clean, you know, regardless of what your feelings about the whole situation is. It is the cleanest place, probably cleaner than your house. You know, to be perfectly honest, you know, someone thanked me very recently for risking my health with the pandemic to bring everyone these videos, and I didn't even know how to respond to that, to be perfectly honest, because I don't feel I am. I feel that I'm safe there. I changed my masks and everything. I'm not concerned about that here because of the cleanliness. I mean, they are totally on top of shit. So from that standpoint, it's all good. And going back to Walmart, I've always used this hand sanitizer in Walmart. You know, that place always gives me the skivots when I go in there. So, you know, it is what it is. I'll continue to have the skivots going into Walmart, but not going into these properties because they're immaculate. Even the bathrooms are immaculate. 2 months later, 3 months later, they're perfect. They're wonderful. So I just want to thank everyone for coming along for this little strip drive. I'm heading back into the local sections of town. And if you have any suggestions, what you want to see, what you would like me to see, or what you would like me to talk about, because I'll discuss just about any topic, and we're going to start the episodes of Hey Bror, Fredrik soon, where you guys get to name the topic and I'm gonna discuss it with you. And as far as the 9% word of the or phrase of the day, I'm gonna put that up right now. That way I know that you stuck around to the very end, because 9% of all the viewers stick around till the end, and that helps me because it tells, well, it helps all of us. We're a family here. We're in this together. If it wasn't for you, there'd be no me. So it tells YouTube that you're liking my content, that you appreciate what I'm doing, and it tells YouTube to show it to some more people so we can grow. So the 9% club, you guys absolutely rock if you stick around till the end. So I'm gonna drop that word in if I haven't done already in editing. And on that note, Bror Fredrik out.